Okay. I mean, I think that if you're believing that Donald Trump is a figure who's about to massacre the Houthis,
I don't.
Houthis or the Tutsis, I
No,
mean,
but
like,
if they were here, he would.
I highly.
The Houthis, they're eating the pet. The Houthis, the Haitians ate all the dogs and the cats. The Houthis go for the hamsters.
All right, you guys, 24 hours away from the election. I know excitement is high, nerves are high. Everyone is just kind of waiting on the edge of their seats. So I figure, why not break the awkward silence and do one last video reacting to Bill Maher's Trump derangement syndrome? Because really, look, here's the way I see it. I genuinely think Trump's going to win. Okay. And I think we're going to have 4 years of funny stuff to react to on this regard. But let's also be real with ourselves, guys. There is a possibility where that doesn't happen. Okay. There's a possibility where we're all going to have Kamala Harris derangement syndrome on Wednesday. So I think, it's called a contingency plan. You don't think it's going to happen. You don't want it to happen, but who knows? Okay. So why not? One last video, and Bill Maher did give it to us when he recently brought Ben Shapiro on the Club Random podcast just a few days before the election. We will react to that here today, but first, folks, I will do the programming alert. Once again, we will be live tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern time for election night, right here on YouTube. We'll also be doing a pre-election stream at 9 p.m. Eastern time tonight. Make sure you're tuned in. Make sure you're subscribed with your notifications on so that you do not miss the biggest moment in recent political history, which is obviously our election. And with that said, let's just get right into this. Ben Shapiro, Bill Maher, they both go at it. Have some fun, relax, crack open a beer, do whatever, but enjoy it. Here you go.
But I can answer your question there about he just says stuff. I mean, you're so sanguine about this, it just amuses me. And it won't in the future because, yeah, he didn't do a lot of the stuff he said the first time, but he tried. Hillary, lock her up. Yeah, he tried. He tried to get Sessions to do that.
Not really.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
And he certainly tried to not honor the election. And as I said from the beginning, didn't concede.
It's funny on that front. Who actually got charged with felonies? Who got convicted of felonies? Very wrongfully and corruptly. Not just Donald Trump, but a lot of his supporters. So you can create the boogie. This is always what they do. They create the boogeyman of right-wing people doing bad stuff. Right-wingers are inciting the violence when it's anti-Trump people who keep trying to shoot at him. Right-wingers are politically persecuting their opponents. Meanwhile, that's literally what the left does. You can fearmonger about it, but it doesn't really align with the reality of what's currently happening. And I think that's why that argument is starting to fall short with people. But I guess we'll see what happens tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, anyways.
He tried everything. He did not have in place enough lackeys and stooges to pull it off the first time. That may not be the case the second time. That's my worry about Trump.
Guys, we're now living in a realm of tyranny. We have a Secret Service, an FBI, a DOJ we cannot trust. And also, as RFK Jr. often talks about, we have an FDA that favors big pharmaceutical companies over our health. Quite clearly, our governmental agencies have been weaponized against the people, and in times like this, we need to stick together. We need to back the leader who literally took a bullet for us. We need to fend off leftist media, and we need to stay strong and healthy enough to protect our families. Just like they're trying to take down Trump, they're also trying to take down Black Forest's star product, NMN. And it's not because of safety or efficacy. It's because the same greedy and evil powers that have weaponized agencies against the people are trying to turn NMN into the first ever anti-aging prescription drug simply to fill their never-ending products. Why do they want to do this? Because NMN works. NMN is a vital product for the functioning of the 37 trillion cells in your body. A study from Harvard claims that it can help reduce weight, cholesterol, and even blood pressure in overweight adults. It's the only product I know of that not only slows down, but can reverse aging. I've asked Black Forest to give my followers a special discount because I want you guys to have a chance to get your hands on NMN before any potential restrictions may come into play. For the next 48 hours, you can buy 2 and get 1 free. Black Forest Supplements is ready to fight for this. They want to ensure people have access to NMN, but who knows? There may come a day when the pharmaceutical drug companies take over control of this product instead. So I urge you to check out the link and grab some for yourself and take advantage of this buy two get one free offer while it lasts. Discount code and link and information all in the description down below. Go check it out.
The whistling past the graveyard of, he says a lot of things about the enemies within and all these words and phrases that we heard from places where they did conduct pogroms about people. That's exactly what they said in Rwanda.
Okay. I mean, I think that if you're believing that Donald Trump is a figure who's about to massacre the Houthis,
I don't.
Houthis or the Tutsis, I
no,
mean,
but
like,
if they were here, he would.
I highly.
The Houthis, they're eating the pet. The Houthis, the Haitians ate all the dogs and the cats. The Houthis go for the hamsters.
But like, here's the thing. I keep
So Donald Trump would have perpetuated the Rwandan genocide if he were leading Rwanda. Again, like this is why people kind of tune out the Trump derangement stuff after so many years of listening to it. It's just ridiculous.
asking people, like, what's the practical path for Trump to do this? I've actually said to people, if you actually want Trump not to deny the next election, then probably he should win, because he ain't sticking around for a third term. All he wants is to win. Once he wins, he frankly, I mean, really,
again,
like on a practical level.
Again, that's adorable that you think that.
You think he wants to stick around after that? The only reason he stuck around this time is because he lost last time. That's the only reason he's there.
I mean, he's not even unique in this. Once you get to be president, once you have the plane, and wherever you want to go in the world, you can get there faster than any other human being, because they will clear the countryside, the streets, they will clear everything. Once you have all those kind of perks, you never want to give up. Look at Biden. He must have known that he was a shell of his former self, but you cannot. It's like flying private.
Yeah, but he's eligible. I mean, Trump's not eligible after this.
Once you fly private once.
They can't even list him on a ballot. I mean, once his second term is over, it's over.
So again, if that's true, then why is Trump a unique threat to democracy if he's just, according to Bill Maher, power hungry like everyone else? I think Ben Shapiro is largely right. It's like and by the way, I do think Trump obviously genuinely cares about the country, and he kind of views it as a public duty thing. But yeah, I think a big part of the reason he is running again is because he feels slighted about what happened the last time. He wants to kind of finish what he started. And yes, to some degree, it's probably a personal thing for him. It's an ambition thing, whatever you want to call it. But, if it's true that Trump is just kind of likes to cling to power, Bill Maher just admitted, okay, so do all the other politicians. So what's so especially bad about Trump? That he denies elections? Okay, Democrats do that too, It's funny. Let's all take a bet right now. If Trump wins, will Democrats accept the election results? Wait and see, I guess. Well, we'll find out, all right?
As far as the people he's going to appoint to his cabinet, they have to go through Senate confirmation. I mean, here's the thing about Trump. And again, we don't have to talk about Trump the whole time, but the systems of government, the checks and balances, were built to stop stupid, blundering attempts to overrun those boundaries. They really were. I mean, that's why you can say that Donald Trump tried all this stuff and it failed, because the system was basically built for that. What the system was not really built for was the takeover of institutions from the inside, and then the gradual weakening of those institutions. So, for example, the use of the Occupational Safety and Health Administration to try and cram down vaccines on 80 million Americans. Right?
But Trump's the dictator, right? Trump is the authoritarian. He really wants to bring in this fictional system to America. Meanwhile, who's actually doing it, right? Who actually has their political opponents in jail? Who did the OSHA thing? Who is trying to censor free speech on social media? It's a unanimous story. Again, they create this boogeyman of right-wing bad stuff to distract you from the fact that in the real, actual world, left-wingers are doing all of these things. Right-wing. It's funny. Even I remember after Trump was shot in Butler, Pennsylvania, they were still talking on the mainstream media about right-wing violence. It's like, did you see what just happened? Did you see it with your eyes? But Trump incites violence with his, literally, some people in the MSM said that. It's ridiculous.
Or the attempt to ram down alleviation of student loans single-handedly, and then after the Supreme Court says don't do that, the attempt to continue to do that. Or the activation of the Department of Justice to continue investigating Trump apparently for everything under the sun. Like these sorts of things, they can be abused that way. And those abuses are pretty serious.
I'm not going to follow all those trails because we're here at Club Random. But I could. Some of what you say I agree with, some I don't. Let's end this section of our conversation with just this one question. if he does do these things that I fear, will you admit it?
Sure.
Yes.
Of course.
I think he will. I think you're an honorable guy.
I mean,
I do.
I opposed him when he was doing this between November and January last time around.
Okay, but he did it, so how could you possibly forgive it?
I mean, I don't forgive what he did between November and January, and now I'm faced with a binary choice between two candidates. And who do I think is going to be closer to the policies I want?
You really think the hellscape that would be America would be worse under Kamala? I mean, again, all the woke stuff. I mean, this is last week's editorial that I did, and this week.
So they just took a bet there. So Bill Maher actually thinks Trump's going to become a dictator or something. That's genuinely what he's taking a bet on that. That he's going to come out and admit he was wrong. I don't know. I'm very curious to see if Trump wins in 2028 when he leaves office. Will Bill Maher admit that Orange Man actually wasn't that bad? I don't know. I guess we'll see.
They both kind of have the same theme, which is that Kamala, you need to convince the undecided voter that you're not a stealth woke nut.
Yes.
That's it.
Are you convinced?
No, but I would take that even over as much baggage comes with that. It's still better than the guy who doesn't concede elections, loves Putin, loves autocracy, fundamentally doesn't understand that that's the linchpin to America, the peaceful transference of power. No, I don't think he would ever give it up. I don't think he would ever say, I lost.
So can I ask you the countervailing question?
And he will probably try to pass it on to Uday and Hussein.
So you've asked me, if Trump does all these things, will you admit it and
Yes.
say that? And I said, okay, so if Kamala turns out, if she wins, and she turns out to be just as stealthily woke as I fear she will be, and if she pursues the bad kind of foreign policy that I think she will, I assume that you'll also come forward and say that.
What I will admit is that she was a stealth woke nut. I will
that's not the bet I want to see. Okay, forget that. Because let's say if Trump wins, if he does, I want to hear if Donald Trump does not become a dictator or do it, because that seems to be what Bill Maher's insinuating. 2028, he's just going to be, I'm the president. I'm now, I'm now the Führer or something. Is that what I don't understand, right? Is that what he's saying? When Trump leaves office peacefully in 2028, I want to see Bill Maher admit that he was wrong. Just saying. Okay. By the way, I think it's probably significantly more likely that Kamala Harris ends up being a very woke president than Donald Trump literally taking over America as a dictatorship. Okay, just saying. I'm just saying. It seems like one is objectively more likely than the other, but I don't know. I guess we'll see.
not admit, because I haven't said it now and never have and never would, that is yet worse than not conceding an election.
Understood.
That to me is the absolute bottom.
So I think that if you're going to make a bet, to be fair, just to, if we're going to put it in people's lap, then the bet is basically, do you think there's a better chance that Donald Trump ends up being a Hitlerian, tyrannical dictator who overruns all the boundaries of power?
Right.
Or do you think that there's a better chance that Kamala Harris is going to be a stealth woke nut who runs America into a ditch? And I think there's a way better chance of the latter than the former.
Correct.
Yes, maybe so. Don't know, but a good question at least. What is not a question in my mind is, if the worst outcome of each happened, which is the worst of the two?
Fair. That's part of the calculus.
And you agree with that?
Well, I mean,
it would be worse
if Donald Trump turns into Hitler. I think that is worse than Kamala Harris being a bad president.
Not Hitler. He's not going to kill all the Jews. He likes the Jews.
He does.
And so do I.
Yeah, because it's not like the Democrats could possibly install a one-party state by passing mass amnesty so they have permanent political control, cracking down on free speech on social media and the First Amendment, which they've said publicly they want to do, just saying, I don't know. That said, guys, it doesn't really matter at this point. Bill Maher, that should be an extra incentive. I'm not saying it should be the reason, okay? There should be real principled reasons why you show up to vote tomorrow if you have not done so already. Again, make sure you do it. Don't get complacent. But secondary reason, yes, it's true. Make Bill Maher seethe, prove Alan Lichtman, that smug Mr. Professor guy, prove him wrong. Okay? Make him go out and admit he was wrong because Donald Trump will win. Make MSNBC melt down. Van Jones will cry again on TV. The upside between the practical economy, immigration, foreign policy, the actual issues, etc., but also just the memes, the fun we're going to have for 4 years. Don't jinx it. Go do your part because that's what we're looking at. Okay, a better tomorrow is coming. And, in the end, who knows? Maybe Bill Maher will put on the MAGA hat by 2026. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, be sure to leave a like on this video, guys. Again, join us at 6 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern tonight for the preview stream. And until next time, God bless and peace.